Well, a big share deal in the South African taxi industry, and AirBnB vacates Israeli settlements on the West Bank. Motheo Khoaripe is here to discuss this story. So, Motheo, of course, we're seeing the National Taxi Council saying it's buying a stake in a high-interest rate financer, SA Taxi. Explain the complexities there.
Well, the funny thing about this particular deal is that Santaco should have been itself financing the taxis for the industry, but now it's having to buy into another business called SA Taxi. Of course, SA Taxi is under Transaction Capital, and these are the guys that put up all the ATMs at garages that you don't know belong to which bank, but they're the guys that do that. Basically, their business is to give insurance and also financing to the taxi industry, but it's quite expensive, as some taxi owners have already cried out to Santaco before, because they pay installments of about 12,000 Rand for like a standard Quantum or diesel petrol Quantum as well, which is quite high if you think about it, almost at a luxury vehicle type of payback system, and quite a high interest. But Santaco is saying that they're going to buy 25% of that business, and of course it's not coming off their own cash. It's coming actually sponsored by Standard Bank and also Transaction Future Growth as well. So it's a difficult one to say. They'll have a seat at the table definitely to represent some of the complaints that have come through from the taxi industry in terms of costs, and also the insurance rates that have come through from SA Taxi, but it doesn't seem to be a completely sealed transformation deal. You know, it's not really looking like a legit transformation deal from what I've been able to pick up from this particular deal, because there's no sense of ownership from them as well. The cash is not coming from them exactly. And, well, they see it as a transformative one, and one that's going to be one for the future. But to be honest, transactional capital is actually nowhere near those BE standards. But I guess this one will work out quite great for SA Taxi, which is under transactional capital. And we saw the share price for transaction capital also going up 4%. So it's a deal they do quite like quite a bit.
Yeah, that'll be interesting to watch. And then, of course, AirBnB deciding to pull out of the West Bank. Why?
Well, there is a dispute, of course, on the West Bank, and that's because of the Israeli and Palestinian battle for that particular territory. The Israelis say they're keeping out, terrorists in terms of the border and the territory that is there, while the Palestinians feel there is a separation there. So I think Airbnb kind of feeling that it's morally not a great way to do business in that particular territory, and they've since pulled out. And this is a pullout, even though knowing that U.S. laws still permit them to do business there. But after consulting what they say were external experts, they feel that they can't be in that particular territory. This means about 200 home and room rentals will stop operating in that particular area, and holiday goers in that particular area will not be able to get Airbnb. Of course, this hasn't made Israeli authorities quite happy. They are saying they're going to be speaking to U.S. officials to see whether there was a breaching of U.S. anti-Israeli boycott laws in terms of this particular move from Airbnb. So they vacated the place, and it's still going to be looking like a diplomatic level dispute now.
All right, thanks.